Alrighty, folks, we're going to talk about finding deals. What are we doing today to find deals? We're going to talk with the one and only Casey from Brick by Brick Wealth. How you doing, Casey?
I am doing great, Michael. I think in today's market, depending upon where you are, your market's still hot and going really fast, like it is in Memphis.
Yeah.
I'm still looking on the MLS. To me, sellers are already wanting to sell. So shoot, why not look on the MLS? That's where I've gotten most of my deals. But another great place, well, too, would be first of all, word of mouth. Okay. Tell everybody that you know that you buy properties. Don't be scared to say you are a real estate investor. Whatever. Let them have their judgments against real estate investors. Who cares what people think about you? Okay. Because when they have a house they want to sell or their aunt wants to sell, they may be calling you. If their aunt's a hoarder, they're not putting that house on the MLS. They're going to go, oh, you know what? I remember my friend Casey, I judged her for being an investor because they're slum, but you know what? I'm going to call her up because maybe she can buy your house, auntie, and you don't have to show the world that you're a hoarder.
Mm-hmm.
So tell everyone that you are a real estate investor. This worked for me. The house that we got in contract on, I guess it was 2 Fridays ago now. Gosh, time's flying by. Maybe it was last Friday. I don't even remember. Got to lock that rate though. Still keeping an eye on my rate. Um, it was I owned the house next door, and my tenant was talking to the neighbor and said, "Hey, you should call up my landlord, Casey. She buys houses." And she's like, "I remember her because she talked to me when she bought your house." So she
Right.
called me up. We already had a relationship because after fixing up the house, for a month and being outside and getting to know the neighbor, we had a bond, a friendship, and she could trust me, right? And I'm
Mhm.
not some weirdo sending her postcards in the mail, 400 times. And she knew me as a real person. She called me up and said, Casey, I want to sell you my house. And I'm thinking, really, it's probably not going to happen. Oh my God, it happened. I happened to bring a contract. We signed it on her trash can
Mm.
outside. So word of mouth, tell everyone you know that you own rental properties. We had another property as well that we got off market from telling the neighbors that, hey, we bought this house. Here's my card. If if the tenants are not doing a great job, if they're bothering you, if they're breaking the rules, please call me and tell me. If they're damaging the property, please call me and tell me. If they're parking on the grass, please call me and tell me. I want to keep our neighborhood great, right? I'm not a
Yeah.
slumlord. And if you know of anyone else who wants to sell, please give them my name. Bought the house across the street, let them know. They came back and said, we want to sell you our house. So we bought that house off market too.
Yeah.
So really, word of mouth, telling everyone you know is the best way to get deals because they've already met you and you're not a postcard or a voicemail that they've received, through a campaign. Another way, one of my other favorite ways is networking. Sometimes I feel like networking, I just hate the word because it feels like I got to do work. I don't like the word networking because it's like, oh, networking to me feels like something you got to do that you don't want to do. I got to go network, you know.
Um,
No. Well, what I just say is go to your real estate investor group meetings. Go to those meetings. Get to know the people that are there. Be a real person, not just a
yeah.
phone call, a postcard, or something in the yellow pages, a line item with a name. Be a real person, show interest, show pizzazz, show that you care, have that fire underneath you. And those people that have deals, when they have one that they don't want or isn't the right fit for them, or they want to sell their own properties, other investors, they're going to contact you because, wow, that girl, Casey, she really lights me up because well, I talk a lot, but she's outgoing and I can tell she tries really hard. And, she's
Yeah.
always telling me she's looking to buy. And you know what? I trust her. I'm going to give her a call first with my deal. You got to show up and you got to be a real person and you just can't always hide behind a computer. Being out there in
Yeah.
real life, that's what's missing nowadays is that personal relationship.
Yeah. It's funny. Those are the three that I would go through as well. So for me, I don't know, probably 80% of our deals, maybe 75% have all been MLS. I still
Yeah.
look every day. I don't know about you. I mean, I every day I wake up, it's one of the first things I do after I get my cup of coffee is, oh, what happened today? It
Yep.
really does become a habit. Um, I mean, I might miss 2 days a year. I mean, that's just how habit forming this
Well,
is.
it's an addiction, and and
Yeah, it is.
you should see how many properties I look at, not just my rental market, but where I live too. I'm like where I live, what's even areas that I don't live in that I would invest in, I look there. I
Yeah.
mean, daily. I'm the nighttime looker. Blake is the morning looker. So he looks in the morning and he'll send me things that he thinks are good.
Oh,
Then
that's
I will
cool.
look in the afternoon and the evening at late at night. That's my time. And I will send him things I think are good. And
That's
so we
awesome.
got this, just kind of happens that way. But, having your thumb on the pulse, knowing exactly what properties sell for, in what condition, rent for, in what condition in your target market makes your life so much easier. Because when you are ready to make an offer, when you're ready to buy, you're not going to have a question of, oh, will it rent for that? I don't know. There's not many comps. But if you've been looking at the comps for the past 6 months, you would remember, well, I know there's not a lot of properties for rent over here right now, but there have been in the past year, and I remember this area rents for X in this condition. Like, you should
Yeah.
just know that. And just by staring at your phone, like, I got the realtor.com app, I have my saved heart search, and I get notified. The only push notifications I like come from realtor.com.
There you go. Yeah, me too. The only one I like is realtor.com. Absolutely. Yeah. And again, the beauty also of just knowing your numbers and knowing your buy boxes. I don't know about you, but I have no problem writing an offer under a list price. If it doesn't work at list, but I like the house, I'll write it. I mean, what's the worst thing they could do is say no. And again, I say this as somebody who wrote 100 offers in 2021 and got nothing. It's just part of the game. Some
Yeah,
markets are crazy hot, others are not. I locked up 2 at the end of 2022 because I don't know, everybody took off Christmas for some reason. So
that's the
again, you
best
just
time to
keep
buy.
going. Yeah, best time, right? Second is word of mouth. Absolutely. And the fact that people don't tell everyone what their buy box is blows me away.
Yeah.
The neighbors, absolutely. Contractors, absolutely. Teacher, I mean, just anybody you're having conversations. It's just like get your business card and on the back of it say, I buy 3-bedroom, 1-bath house in this zip code in this area. If that's your buy
Yep.
box, why are you hiding it? Tell everyone. You never know when Auntie will call you and say, hey, I found one. I don't know if it's a deal, but call them, figure it out. And then lastly, yeah, networking. And I'll say it slightly differently. I would say probably 2018, 2019, certainly the first half of 19, about 80% of my deals were from wholesalers.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it was very interesting. Wholesalers were producing deals, MLS wasn't. But
Yeah.
I was a known quantity in my market. I was a proven buyer. I had cash or access to cash to close. It was wild. I mean, we were closing one a month there for a while in 2018, maybe 2 a month, all from wholesalers.
I've
So
got
again, tell everyone.
I've got one wholesaler guy that I trust. I guess two that I trust, and the fact that they didn't just go buy a $59 course to learn to be a
Yeah.
wholesaler. They got something under contract and they have no idea what it costs to fix up, no idea what the ARV is. Like, those people are out there. Okay. It's
Oh
the
yeah.
new thing to be a wholesaler. You can do it with no money and bad credit and no experience. My butt. Okay. So there's two wholesalers in my area that I trust. I get a lot of emails, but at least from them, I know that from doing the research on the properties they send, I know that these two guys, they have their, rehab estimates are pretty good,
Yep.
and they don't hide stuff. So it's kind of like you have to get to know your wholesaler and make sure that you can trust them and that
Oh,
they're
for
actually
sure.
giving you accurate information, because everyone know there's probably so many wholesalers that are watching this. We're gonna all unfollow, me. So the thing with wholesalers, like I said, a lot of them are, just got this free course online or a cheap course, and they're gonna be a wholesaler. They don't know what they're doing, but they're there to make the most money they can. So they are going to, underestimate the amount of work to be needed, overestimate the ARV, and make that cushion sound really good for you. When really, if you were to trust them and buy that, you'd be buying, like you say, an alligator property. It's not a good deal. You have to do your own research. The only thing that a wholesaler is good for is getting the property under contract. The rest is up to you. You have to do
Absolutely.
your own due diligence. Do not take any wholesaler's word for anything at any point in time. You need to go see the property. You need to make sure that, do your own work, bring your contractor and read the wholesale agreement. If it's not going to be yours. So make sure you read
Yeah.
it and you understand what you're signing.
Yeah. And then just to go back in time, I have bought one property offline. It was auction.com back in 2010 or 11. Um, I did do one mailer to one little community one time just to do it. I did get a deal, interestingly enough, but only did that once. I didn't like that. What else? I think that's it. I think those are all my deals. I don't know that I've done anything
Yeah.
else. So
Yeah. I mean, those are the top ways.
yeah, again, the fact networking. Just go tell people, put it on your business card what you're looking to buy. Don't be shy. Get routine looking at the MLS, and qualify your wholesalers. You'll do great business. And again, you could be a stay-at-home mom or a tech worker, and you can still build a portfolio. So Casey, you're doing great stuff on Instagram. And where can people follow you?
Brick by Brick Wealth on all the places.
There you go. Thank you, Casey.